I'm Karen Hoyt, Marketing Director at Shasta Regional Medical Center, and we're proud to be part of the conversation that the Forum at KIXE is bringing to our community. Shasta Regional has been around for more than 60 years supporting our community, and we would like to invite you to be a part of the Forum on KIXE. Together, we can support the community that gives us back so much. Thank you.
Hi and welcome to the Forum. I'm Ashley Tate here with my co-host Christy Largent, and today we're going to be speaking with the Riverfront Playhouse, the president, Dan Kupsky.
Pleasure to be here.
Say that right?
Yes, Kupsky,
all right,
right?
Kupsky,
Very good.
All right.
You guys might know Dan from somewhere else though, because he's been around town forever. What? I mean, not forever.
Almost,
years and years and eons.
Oh my gosh!
He's a little hard to mix with his personality, so it'll be fun.
What did you retire from before you could get?
Well, it was called Poverty Flats when I first moved here. No, come on, Chris. I retired from the Reading Police Department in December of 2002 after 28 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how you might know him.
Thank you for your service.
Kupsky. That's how I first met
And
you.
I emceed Market Fest a lot, and I've done a lot of community involvement, and I've been involved with Riverfront Playhouse for many, many years now, and just became president of the board. So.
Now, what drew you to Riverfront Playhouse?
Well, it's really funny. I did a lot of community emceeing and stuff, and a lady, Mary Forbes, who is a board member and been with Riverfront since the beginning, came up to me and approached me and had me MC an event that was benefiting Riverfront and said, "We need you on our board." And as a police officer, you're always talking about wearing hats and being an actor, because you have to act like you're in charge when you're scared to death, and you have to act like you care when sometimes you're trying to get a confession out of somebody, but you're going, "Is that coffee warm for you?" But, and so I always said if I couldn't be a cop, I'd like to try my hand at acting.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And so I'm a ham anyway. And
we can.
After being on the board for 2 or 3 years, and then learning that they wanted to build a new theater, and then I got my opportunity to be on stage because one of the actors in a play, The Odd Couple, that was going on vacation, and it was such a popular play, they wanted to extend it a week.
Wow.
And they said, "Would you understudy and do a small role and be one of the card players in The Odd Couple?" And I did 4 shows
and now you're doing this show right now. You're in the middle
I'm in
of
the current show right now. I've done 8 shows at Riverfront, and I got the opportunity to be in Fiddler on the Roof at the Cascade Theater with 6 other Riverfront performers. That was highly successful. If anybody saw Fiddler on the Roof, Bob Corlick, who's a local talent here in town who works in radio, is such a gifted actor, and he's working with me in the current show along with Colin Peacock. So we have a lot of talented people in this community.
So tell us the difference between maybe what someone would think about the Cascade Theater and maybe Riverfront. What would be?
Well, they're 2 different venues, and the people at the Cascade are excited about Riverfront because we're only going to be 2 blocks away, and we'll have the availability at the new Riverfront Playhouse that we're hoping to, and we are going to build downtown, to design sets and stuff, so we can actually help the Cascade Theater. You know, they have 999 seats, and the new theater will be 234 seats, so it's a lot more intimate, small for plays and things of that nature, where the Cascade has musicians and big performing arts and big performances and dance numbers, and so it's 2 different venues, 2 completely different venues.
Well, and so just to clarify, the Riverfront Playhouse is a local community theater. Yep. And tell us about how many productions do you put on a year, and then what's the vision for this new playhouse that you're building down where it used to be Carl's Automotive,
Used to be Carl's Tire around the corner of Pine and
Tire.
Plaster. So we have a perfect location right downtown Reading. And we see it as a big piece of downtown revitalization for Reading, and I know all the store owners, restaurant owners are looking forward to having Riverfront downtown and having our venue operating there. Currently, Riverfront Playhouse is all volunteers. We have no paid members. When we get to new theater, we're going to have a paid theater manager because we're going to need one. We do 6 productions a year, and because of our small little warehouse setting where we're out on East Cypress, we have to build a set, rehearse. We open a show, we run it approximately maybe 6 weeks, and then we tear down the set, then we have to rebuild, rehearse. So we're closed maybe half the year. So we run maybe 25 weeks a year. At the new theater, we'll have the ability to put on a performance, have a rehearsal hall, and be able to build a set and move that one out when this one's done, so we can have production after production.
Yeah.
And then when we don't have productions, we're going to rent our theater out to local civic groups, community groups for recitals, and we can put on acting classes. We can they have business meetings there because it's a nice venue of 234 seats. So I think it's going to be a real benefit for the community.
Absolutely, it sounds like it.
And I run into people all the time that have never been to Riverfront Playhouse and experienced live theater, because I think live theater is so exciting to watch to me. And some people don't like dramas. They want to be entertained. They want to laugh. They don't want to, oh, that's too, but the actors, and we have, I can't tell you the talented people in our community that come out of the woodwork. You've seen this gentleman named John Welch all over television. He's on commercials and everywhere here in our local community. He just came to Reading about 4 years ago in the LA area and did community theater for 25 years.
Wow.
And he's such a talented, gifted actor. He was just in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof playing Big Daddy at Riverfront Playhouse.
Wow.
Bob Corlick, who sells radio advertising, Women of Lockerbie, a very powerful play about the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 in Lockerbie, Scotland. Powerful stories done in like a Greek tragedy style. I saw it 4 times and cried all 4 times. Brilliant show. You know, we didn't have packed audiences because a lot of people went, oh, that sounds tragic. I don't want to. But if you're really into acting, and our actors want that meaty stuff, they want those dramatic roles, and people like comedies. So we try to get a blend between, you know, the heavy stuff and comedy. So, and it's community theater. You get who comes out to audition, and nobody's paid.
That's what I was going to say. How do you get the people who come out to audition? I mean, how
people do this for the love of theater, and
what if they're trying to get into acting? I mean, what if they have no experience?
Well, that's great, because sometimes raw talent, and you can bring that out. This is a great forum for someone gone to. I'm in a play right now with a girl, Caitlin Kenyon, and the director saw her perform at Foothill High School and said, that girl's brilliant, and called her up, and she's been in To Kill a Mockingbird. She was a star, and now she's playing this sort of dim-witted young daughter in the current play, Little Murder Never Hurt Anybody. She's brilliant, and she's 20 years old, and in February she's going to New York to go to acting school.
Oh, that's amazing.
So what a great forum for people to get involved in theater, because after they get out of high school or whatever, if they have that itch, where are they going to go?
Right.
So Riverfront is it. So we hope someday we'll be able to pay our directors, and maybe even pay our actors, but that's down the road.
Where are you in the fundraising for the new theater?
Oh, we've come a long way. We've got plans, we've got drawings. We're just waiting for our building permit to come out. Then we're going to start building. And we're about, we raise $1 million and build it with a year, because we don't want a big debt to service. Because we have to. Right now, we're going to be building a theater and running a theater. So, and we're a nonprofit, money's tight. So. If we can raise $1 million in a year, we're going to do it. So, we're going to do it. So you'll be seeing a lot of media attention and publicity about that. And people people need to come out and experience Riverfront Playhouse and see. Our tickets are reasonable. It's a great, you spend 2.5 hours reasonably priced for $17 and see a wonderful show.
It's a great experience, I think, for kids as well, when you have some of those lighthearted
Just
shows. Just the live theater, the smaller kind of all intimate kind of thing, and bringing them there.
And it seems like you usually do some sort of a Christmas presentation.
We have a Christmas show every year that we try to have a Christmas theme, and sometimes it's real traditional. This year's Christmas show is A Christmas Story.
Oh, that's perfect for kids.
And we've got somebody who's playing, Ralph, and we'll have to check BB guns at the door because they could put your eye out. And it's a classic, and sometimes we've done. Last year we did Every Christmas Story Ever Told, which was brilliantly, just a very funny. It's got every aspect of Christmas you could think. It's very
now that
fun.
one you guys sold out, because I did try to get tickets. Apparently I was too late, but
that show was written by a little theater company in southern New Jersey, about 20 miles from where I grew up.
Really?
And it had never been performed outside of that theater. And we found it online and asked them if we could do it, and they said great, and said send us a video. And we sent them the video, and they said we did it better than they did. So that was great.
Oh, that's neat.
Do you ever take playwrights from here? You're like local
yes,
playwright?
if you're familiar with Bill and Lisa Collins, our 2 people that moved up to Reading several years ago from the Santa Rosa area. They've done murder mysteries, and they've written a lot of plays. They've done several shows for Riverfront that have been absolutely wonderful. Foul Play in French Gulch, or She Almost Bought the Farm. They did another one. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of it. Club Dead, very funny. And brilliantly. Musicals, they do it all. They're very talented.
They're a talented couple, and the funny thing is people might know Bill because he's the head referee out at the soccer park.
Yes, he is.
He's a phenomenal ref coach. He teaches these young kids how to be
the referee.
And
referees, and he runs the whole thing.
And they did keyhole mystery murders and stuff, and they do stuff at Wind River and
very
around.
Creative.
Very
and they did a
creative.
radio show for a while, Old Time Mystery Theater.
Yes.
Radio theater.
And Lisa had a column on a radio show. Bill Collins, very talented.
Very
people.
talented.
So now, if someone wants to if they want to help out and say we want to have a community theater, what can they do? How can they help you? Where can they go?
I want people to check us out, riverfrontplayhouse.net. Go to our website and see what we're about. Get a hold of any board members. You can call me personally at 524-1440.
I don't know if you'll be able to get off the phone, though.
But we need... we're always looking for people to help us with set construction. Right now, we're looking for board members as well, because we're going into a whole new area for Riverfront. A lot of the people involved in Riverfront have been here since it created in 1981, and now we're going on a whole new, brand new theater downtown, and they just want to see that happen, and they're going to sit back and enjoy their
hard work.
Yeah, their hard work and what is developed. But there's so many talented people in this community.
That's right.
This list. Fiddler on the Roof was so great at the Cascade, but I just wrote a list. There's 7 people involved in that show that were all been on the stage many times at Riverfront. Colin Peacock is a substitute teacher here in the community. I'm a retired police officer. Matt McDonald reviews scripts and does a lot of work in the theater. Victoria Graham has been in a lot of shows here locally. Tom Kirschman is in sales, and he was in there, played Laser. Bob Corlick's in radio advertising, and Catherine Kirk is a teacher.
Oh, wow.
And so we've had Pam Carney's a gifted actor. She's a school bus driver. Russell Pitt does landscaping. He's my gardener.
Wow. He's also awesome improv.
He's great at writing improv.
I hope the improv will get to use the theater as
well.
well.
Improv is having a benefit. When this airs, they've already done a benefit for their 15th anniversary at Riverfront Playhouse, and they're going to do 3 next year.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
And we're teaming with local. Next year, we've also already signed. We're going to team with Anderson New Tech High School, and they're going to have their students do 4 productions in a week at our theater.
That'll be fantastic.
And so we want to create the ability.
Well, this is definitely calling all creatives. I mean, if you're a creative, call Riverfront Playhouse.
Well, there's a place for you, whether it's to help, if you love the arts but you're not artistic, you could help raise money.
Yeah.
Or you could learn how to build sets.
That's right.
Work in the sound booth, do lighting, costumes,
of,
all that stuff. But and if you know how to raise money, we want
you. Yeah, that's right.
Because we're looking forward to it. But I mean, live theater is quality, and so many people just say, "Oh, I've never been to Riverfront or heard about it." Come out and see a live theater.
Yeah.
You might. It's community theater, so you might see a show and go, well, that was good, but but some are just so breathtaking.
Yeah.
You say, oh, I'm sorry I missed that. I heard so much
Well,
about
and
it.
the reality is it's live theater, and it's up close and personal.
Oh, very up close and personal.
And, living in a big city, you don't get that very often, and that's one of the beauties of our North State.
Tell you this quick story. I'm in the current show, Little Murder Never in Anybody. I won't give it away, but Bob Corlick at one point wears a little tail. But I won't say any more than that. Anyway,
oh my goodness.
So he has to change outfits. Well, he came on the set in the scene, and he forgot to take the tail off.
Oh,
and he came out, and he stood there, and the light came on, and some lady in the audience was whispering, and he knew what she was talking about immediately.
Yeah.
And so he reached around and took his little tail off, and he looked out and said, "Thank you."
And
that's intimate theater.
Isn't it? Thank you, Dan, for being on. We love having you. We're going to come back in a bit, and we're going to get to hear about some exciting things going on down in Cottonwood. So stay tuned. You're watching The Forum.
Hi, we're back with the Cottonwood Performing Arts Center, and we're here speaking with Martha Boyle, the founder and director, and also the board member and treasurer, David Lee Johnson.
Good job.
Good job. I'm happy. I'm so excited to get you guys out and talking about what you guys are doing down there.
It's exciting. This is a great show because we've had the Riverfront Playhouse, which is, if you're in the North State, you've heard about that. But then here is this Cottonwood Performing Arts. I'm like, when I heard you guys were coming on, I'm thinking, well, what is it? I've never heard of it, and how did I not know about this? So tell us all about it.
How'd you get started? Where'd the idea come from?
Well, originally I started the studio as a private studio for myself to teach out of. I had started having children, and I was like, I need a professional place to teach music lessons. So I started the studio as Keys and Strings Studio right there in Cottonwood, on our historic district's Front Street.
And you're teaching fiddle.
Yes, I was teaching fiddle, and I needed other instructors to come in and help me share the rent of the studio space.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting about 10 instructors there teaching at one time.
So what are all the things that you teach?
Well, I teach primarily fiddle,
Okay.
old-time fiddle, and I
And you have piano in there.
yes, we have piano and guitar, pretty much any musical instrument that the community asks for us to put on, we will find an instructor for them.
Wow.
So we want to see the kids be able to have a local spot where they can come and take music lessons and not just kids, it's adults. We have adults. The facilities for everyone, you know.
So
So
tell
all
us
ages.
about the facility. Dave has a special part of that story, I believe.
Well, we have that. We have the nice facility, but there's not a lot of money now in music. People will drop the music. They'll keep their kids in sports. They'll keep their kids in something else. But the music kind of goes first. And so it was getting a little tight. The spot. We had a generous landlord, but we were kind of getting a little. We needed to find a new home, and my wife and I were sitting at the Mother's Day parade, and we sat down right there on the corner and watching the parade, and this is in the back of our mind, and then right across the street it says open house. So we walked across the street and we looked in and said,
This is our
well,
new
this is
home.
really cool. So we ran over and grabbed Martha and said, Martha, what do you think? Would this make a studio? She said, really? So we bought it, and
I was going to say, you're saying really, because you guys purchased this for the
yeah, well,
Performing Arts Studio.
it's kind of selfish because both my daughters play fiddle with Martha, and when my older daughter started to play fiddle, we thought, well, we're going to have to go to Reading, or we're going to have to go to Chico. There was nothing in Cottonwood, and then my older daughter got involved with the theater that Keys and Strings also did. They really great youth theater, and then when she was ready to pick up fiddle, Martha was there in town, and so it really fits a niche in the whole community between Red Bluff to Reading, even Chico, that just wasn't there. So kids just don't have to travel to Reading and Red Bluff. And there's so many, what we're finding out by being there, there's so many talented people in Cottonwood that are thrilled that there's a new spot that they can teach. They don't have to go to Palisadro or Reading, and so we've only been there since August 1st, and it's already really picking up a lot of steam.
Well, yeah.
So right now you're basically, the Performing Arts Studio is primarily classes, and then do you do recitals? Go ahead.
Absolutely. We are targeting groups traveling through our area, bands, and we're offering them a stopover place. Not only do we have a nice little studio area, we have a little loft upstairs we've made into a stopover hotel for our guests.
Isn't that great?
Yes,
wow.
and so they can stop, stay the night, do a show for the community, and then head up the road. So it's a great little opportunity for our community to be able to have the talent stop.
Sure.
And,
Who's taking you up on it so
Yeah.
far?
well, so far we've had 2 shows in our new facility. We've had Story Road, and they're a Celtic Irish group.
Oh, wow.
And just a fabulous group. And then we had a banjo historian come through, Dan Levinson, and he stopped and gave us history on the banjo, and just a fabulous clawhammer banjo player. So we got quite education on the banjo.
Now, do you do it for local artists as well? Like, can they come down and do a show there? Or?
We're right now we're planning this spring. We're hoping to have a featuring our local artists, the songwriters, the talent. We're going to have a songwriters convention.
And
so
that is amazing. Is that all through Reading, Chico?
Absolutely. We like to think we're the south end of Shasta County and the north end of Tehama.
I love it.
So we are right on the border. We're the border town.
I love it. Hey, but you're
Cottonwood.
Yes,
Back in the Old West.
Exactly. We're the border town. So yes.
Really
That
cool.
is so neat. So what do you have coming up for this, the rest of this year? For 2013?
Well, we're having, this is our 6th anniversary. October is our 6th anniversary of being in our community. And so we're planning an open house on Halloween. And we're asking all our community members to bring, their kids out and show off their creative costumes, and we're going to have hot dogs and and we're having live music that's free to the community.
Do you have some Christmas things coming up?
We are planning. Every year we've had a Christmas banquet where we showcase the talent of our students,
I love that.
and then we also showcase the talent of the instructors.
Yeah.
So the students can be
like a
inspired to
concert.
continue, working,
yeah.
and then also. We have, of course, food, and it always makes an event fun. And
When is your Christmas concert? Or I'm making it my own name. When is your Christmas banquet?
Yeah, we normally do it the first Saturday of December. So.
And is that during the day or?
It's normally during the evening.
During
We
the
do, like,
evening.
evening,
Okay.
concert, and normally include dancing. And
All right.
So
You
if
might come
someone
down and check
wanted
it
to
out.
find out more information about the group, do you have a website? Or
Yes, we do. We have a website. It's cottonwoodpac.com. Cottonwood Performing Arts Center. Yes, yeah. So cottonwoodpac.com, and they can go on there, and we have our concerts listed, and normally a bio on the group that's going to be coming and performing, and normally we'll post like a YouTube sample of them, so
I
people
love
can
that.
check them out. And
Yeah.
just.
So tell us a little bit about, I'm really interested in the whole fiddle thing.
sure.
I mean, you just don't hear that very often that people are playing the fiddle. So what is that kind of an intro to? How did you get into it? What was...
Well, we have quite a heritage of fiddling here in our North State, and we have many professional fiddlers that have come out of right here in our
Wow.
Jana
area.
Jacoby.
Jana Jacoby, Megan Lynch.
Jana is one of my peers. We were
Yes, in
classmates.
fact, yeah.
And she was Rod Stewart's artistic director for years. She
Yeah.
might still be.
Yeah.
She is. She plays fiddle and mandolin and vocals for Rod Stewart. Her mother, Adrienne Jacoby, actually teaches at our studio. She is the piano and voice and teaches ukulele.
And Adrienne's retired for many years at Parsons.
Yes,
Junior
absolutely,
High.
but she's still going strong.
She is not retired.
She's not retired. She's very involved. So we have a huge heritage of fiddlers here. I started when I was young. I have 3 daughters now that all play.
Oh, and how old did you start? When did you
I
start?
started when I was 11. So
And your daughters you started, right?
I started my
Right.
daughters as soon as they could hold an instrument. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And so, and that's a transitioning tool. No, I wouldn't say transitioning tool, but you can transition from the fiddle
Absolutely. But what I love about the fiddle is that it's tailored for every child's size. So as they're growing, there's a fiddle that can fit each size of all the way up to adult
We have
size,
several.
full size.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have several sizes in our living room right now.
and there's only 4 strings on the violin. So
Yeah.
and the violin and fiddle are the same instrument. It's just played different style.
Yeah.
But there's only 4 strings, and the kids' little fingers can get on there. And it's something that you do have to start young, though,
Yeah.
to develop the talent and the to master the technique
Right.
of the bow.
So Dave, how have your
So-
kids tapped into this then? You obviously are a big
yeah.
believer. You bought
Yeah.
the building for them.
Both of them play fiddle a lot. My 12-year-old she just loves to play fiddle. She performs often. She played it. There was a band at the arts festival at the Ducky Derby, and she had an hour-long set by herself.
Wow.
And then because the community here gets the kids out so much, my daughter was seen by someone playing, and they said, well, we need you to play at the California Bluegrass Festival. So she played
Wow.
this past June in front of 3,000 people, and there was a Grammy winner on the stage with her, got up and played.
Oh my God.
So it was,
That
That's
gives me
impressive.
chills.
Yeah, it was on
What a
Father's Day,
memory.
so-
You should be pretty proud of yourself.
yeah, it was,
Pat on the back.
yeah, it was kind of hard not to cry.
Exactly. Well, not
So-
only his daughter Patricia and Alicia played, but we also had quite a few other
Yeah, there were
students
probably 5.
here from our area
Yeah.
go down and participate.
Wow.
So we had a good showing of the North State down there at the California Bluegrass Association's Father's Day Festival. So
That
was
is pretty
Oh,
impressive.
that is so neat. Well, I think it's just remarkable that you guys have started this and you're growing it, and it sounds like there's all sorts of exciting things coming up.
Absolutely.
And what a wonderful resource. Like you say, southern point of Shasta County, northern point of
Right.
Tehama,
Yeah.
and it's accessible to all of us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Now, when do you generally offer your classes? Are they pretty flexible? I mean, with everyone?
Yeah, we tailor the classes according to the instructor's schedules. So you just have to call
Right.
and get a time spot for your student, or find out if we have a class going. You know, we also really need community support to
Yeah,
be there and
yeah.
to continue. And so there's plenty of, like with the Riverfront Playhouse, there's plenty of opportunities also to be a part, even if you do not play an instrument.
That's great.
Come out to concerts. You
Like
know,
me.
Everybody can't do what you did, though.
Yeah.
volunteer and wonderful.
High expectations.
And I think you use your volunteers a lot, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do it without our parent support. So.
Well, I think it's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And
Thank you.
Martha and Dave from the Cottonwood Performing Arts Center.
Yes.
So it's cottonwoodpac.com.
Yes,
Right, I wanna
Cottonwood
make sure to get this
PAC.
right.
Cottonwoodpac.com.
The cottonwoodpac.com. If you want more information, get their schedule of upcoming events. The Riverfront Playhouse, of course, riverfrontplayhouse.net. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you, viewers. We'll see you on the forum next week. Same place, same time.
I'm Karen Hoyt, Marketing Director at Shasta Regional Medical Center, and we're proud to be part of the conversation that the Forum at KIXE is bringing to our community. Shasta Regional has been around for more than 60 years supporting our community, and we would like to invite you to be a part of the Forum on KIXE. Together, we can support the community that gives us back so much. Thank you.